last week I made a 4 to 5 minute video on the topic of the flu. I had the flu about 2 weeks ago, still recovering from the flu. And in today's video, I actually wanted to talk about recovering from illnesses. It's important to take certain active steps as you are on the road to recovery, so that number one, you don't fall back into illness. It is possible to be reinfected. And then number two, just to make sure you're building back up your system and your immune system. So there are certain things you need to do that are research backed that can help you and maybe your loved ones, those who live with you, or your children if you have children, to get you guys back into the swing of things. In my house, we had not only a bacterial infection but a viral infection. So we had a couple of things going on in my household, which we're still getting over now. And so let's just dive into some of the things that I think can help you recover if you have been struggling with an illness or you know someone who is struggling with an illness. But before we dive in, I want to welcome you back to the channel. My name is Khadija. I am a licensed pharmacist working in the United States. Primarily on this channel, I talk about women's health and wellness matters, especially if you're a woman over 40, going through the perimenopausal, menopausal transition. So if these are topics that are of interest to you, please be sure to subscribe and leave a comment below. So first on the list, I want you to please wash your clothes, bed sheets, blankets, pillowcases. Ideally you want to wash all of these things. And these are things that you may already understand, you may already know, but it could be a good reminder for some of you in terms of the frequency and what it is you're going to be doing as you're washing your clothes. So ideally you want to use hot water to effectively kill germs in your clothes and your bed sheets and stuff of that nature. You want to be killing the bacteria, and you want to try and use a disinfectant detergent if available, and thoroughly dry your clothes as well. So washing the clothes in hot water can be good, but not everybody can wash their clothes in hot water. Some of you might be trying to save on money, or some of you may not have hot water filtered to your or directed to your washer because you'd rather use it in the shower or in the bath. I understand that sometimes boilers can only kick out so much hot water at a time. So just make sure that you are drying your clothes effectively so that you can kill any remaining pathogens. During illnesses, bed sheets and clothes can become contaminated with viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens from your body. You also want to remove body fluids and stains. So we're talking about sweat, saliva, and mucus. During illness, it's common to sweat a lot more, to sneeze, to cough up mucus. So these are fluids that can soil your bedding and your clothes, creating unpleasant odors and stains. And if you had to go out, for example, to the emergency room or to the immediate care room, you're going to want to wash away all of the germs and the bugs that were in the hospital setting. Hospitals are ripe with bacteria and viruses and all sorts of contaminants. So that's something you want to consider too, is that you're not only eliminating the things from your clothes from yourself, but also from the environment. Think about just being in a fresh and clean environment. After you've been sick for some time, your spirits may have been down, your body may have shut down. So it's always good to refresh and restart. So get yourself some clean sheets, some clean clothes, improve your personal hygiene. Because after an illness, you might also have just been a little bit, I wouldn't say lazy, but you just didn't have the energy to get up and shower every day or take a bath every day or even comb your hair or brush your hair or take care of yourself. When you're in the midst of illnesses, it can be hard to maintain healthy hygiene because you're so down and out. Many of us become anxious or depressed. We might question, why did I get sick, or how am I ever going to recover from the sickness or this illness? You may have been set back in terms of your studies or your work or things of that nature, or even if you're, doing something like a business, running a business, or doing some creative pursuits, writing, journaling, creating art. So you may have felt that this illness of whatever it may have been you have experienced could have just kind of taken a toll on you psychologically. So it's going to be important to kind of refresh in an overall sense, and it can start with your environment that helps you kind of turn it up a notch so that you can get back into, a habit or an overall well-being that's great for you, that's good for you. The second thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to throw out all of your old toothbrushes and get new ones, including the cases or the holders for these toothbrushes. The reason you're going to do this, number one, is to prevent reinfection. Germs and illnesses, they linger on your toothbrush. Immediately after recovery, as soon as you feel better and are no longer symptomatic, static, replace your toothbrush. This minimizes the risk of lingering germs that can cause a new infection. But for me, it was a little bit different. Whereas I had influenza, one of my kids also had influenza plus group A strep. I had to change out everybody's toothbrushes, not when symptoms started to alleviate, but 24 to 48 hours after the start of his antibiotics. And at this point, the antibiotics are usually have started to reduce the bacterial load in the throat. So this will minimize the risk of reinfection can be caused by the toothbrush. A general rule from the American Dental Association, they recommend that you replace your toothbrush every 3 to 4 months. Some of you like to replace it sooner, but definitely not later than that. Some of you wait until you go to your dentist every 6 months. Typically, if you can't change it every couple of months, then at a minimum 3 to 4 months will help you reduce your risk of any type of bacterial or viral infection. Now, the third thing I'm going to ask you to do is to clean the surfaces in your home, like your bathroom sink tops, the kitchen sink tops, and then your general living area, like other places in the bathroom, the bathtub, the toilet, the kitchen sink. Get rid of dust, debris, all types of bacteria that can be lingering around your house. And the survival time of bacteria and viruses on surface varies widely depending on the type of pathogen we're talking about and the type of surface, and the environmental conditions also play a role. So, for example, viruses can travel farther and faster through a cough, a sneeze, or just talking. It's more common to get this type of pathogen traveling from host to host when you cough, sneeze, or talk. But surfaces are also dwelling points for pathogens. So these are inanimate surfaces that you should still pay attention to. So for example, when we're talking about bacteria like MRSA or Staphylococcus aureus, we are talking about a survival time of several days to weeks. So these bacteria can survive longer on non-porous surfaces like metal and plastic. When you talk about E. coli, for example, they can last hours to days, and they typically survive in damp or surfaces that hold water. Now, when we talk about viruses such as influenza virus, which is what I had, they have a survival time of 24 to 48 hours. So typically, if you've ever had to get a flu medication, you have a window, 24 to 48 hours before you're no longer a candidate for Tamiflu, for example. And that's what happened to me. I was outside of the 48-hour window. The conditions for influenza, they survive longer on hard, non-porous surfaces such as stainless steel, plastic, compared to things like fabric. Coronavirus or SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID, they survive hours to days, and they have ability to survive on plastic and stainless steel up to 2 to 3 days, cardboard up to 24 hours, and copper up to 4 hours. So the conditions can be affected by temperature and humidity, with longer survival times in cooler and less humid environments. So the recommendations for cleaning are to frequently disinfect your home and your living environment. Any surfaces that are touched, like doorknobs, light switches, countertops, even electronic devices, give those a good wipe down. Maybe get some disinfectant wipes if you don't have a spray bottle, and some paper towels or some reusable hand wipes or reusable hand cloths. And then use effective disinfectants. So we're talking about 70% alcohol, bleach, hydrogen peroxide. These things kill pathogens. So these are things you're going to want to make sure you have stocked up in your home. And then we're also talking about hand hygiene. So washing your hands regularly with soap and water for at least 20 to 30 seconds, especially after touching potentially contaminated surfaces. Get into the habit of having your family members wash their hands when they enter the house. And when they leave the house, I like to keep a hand sanitizer in my car, because I am touching doorknobs to the house, to the car. It's not even when you enter and leave your home. It's going into stores and handling, the push carts, or going into the office and touching the buttons, the elevators to get to your floor. You just want to be conscious to try to keep clean as much as possible. Now, the fourth thing I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to rebuild your immune system. So consider your probiotics and prebiotics. Consider incorporating the appropriate ones into your diet that can help you restore your gut health. That's going to be really crucial for a strong immune system. I'll leave a link to a video where I talk about the best pre and probiotics and how to increase your intake of these. Another thing you're going to want to do to help you rebuild your immune system is to take supplements, such as vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc to support your immune function. These are going to be really crucial for you as you're trying to build back up again. Please stay hydrated, drink plenty of fluids to help flush out the remaining toxins that are in your body and to stay hydrated. So you have waters, herbal teas, broths. And then again, remember to eat a balanced diet that are rich in vitamins and minerals to support your immune system. Think about your fresh fruits and your leafy green vegetables. Of course, I talk about that a lot. Your lean proteins, legumes, chicken, fish, as well as your whole grains. I'll leave a link to a video that talks about eating a balanced diet, especially for recovery. And fifth on the list, I want you to please go easy on yourself and take your time getting back into the things that bring you joy, or as you try to figure out the things that bring you joy. You may still be on your journey, on your path to figuring out what makes you happy, and that is okay. It's a lot of us are going through that right now. We're still trying to figure out what's going to make us happy and what's suitable for us, especially as we hit this age and as we are either taking care of our parents or younger children. We're also trying to take care of ourselves. Be careful if you're self-medicating to talk to a healthcare provider or your local pharmacist. Maybe there is a clinic that you have availability to down in your local pharmacy. Talk to the nurse practitioner or the medical assistant. Self-medication isn't always something that is advised by healthcare practitioners because of drug-drug interactions, overdosing, underdosing. It's not always easy to figure out what's going on with you and how to manage the symptoms, especially with multiple medications. I hope that the information that I have provided with you has been very helpful. I didn't talk about rest and sleep because that's kind of a no-brainer. You need to rest, you need to sleep, you need to recover, but it's kind of like, well, you're telling me to clean my house and wash my clothes. When am I going to sleep and, get rest? Everything comes with balance, so do what you can as you can. Get some help, ask people around you to help. It's no shame in asking people to help you if you can. And, just keep your spirits up, make dua for you that you are healthy and that you are remaining safe, and please do your best to take care of yourself. Don't forget to pick up my free Pause and Prepare PDF health guide. All you need to do is join my Pause and Prepare newsletter waitlist, and you shall get this free health guide directed specifically towards women who are in the perimenopausal stage of life, so that you can understand what perimenopause and menopause, postmenopause are. So those three things are really important, and then learn about ways in which you can prepare for the stage of your life. Every woman is going to go through menopause. Some of us experience symptoms more than others, the vasomotor symptoms or uncommon symptoms. So that includes night sweats, hot flashes for the common symptoms, and some of the uncommon symptoms or the ones we haven't heard of, including itchy skin and itchy ears, for example. So I have provided a free guide where I've compacted all that information into the guide, and I've provided it for you for free. So I'd like you to check that out if you can, and then join my waitlist at the same time. So I do thank you for watching, and hopefully the information has been beneficial for you. I shall see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.